The Government of Canada. Partenaire de l'Ultimate U-Sport 2023. And by
Sports Women's Basketball Championships presented by Bell on CBC.
Good morning and welcome to the 2023
by Corey LeBlanc. He gets that quarterfinal between the Queens Gales CBC. Queens as a 3 seed actually finished 20.
A little bit of a dark horse coming out of the RSEQ. Finished 9-7 in the regular season, but went on a stellar playoff run, and they find themselves here in the quarterfinal, ready to go after a bronze baby on Saturday afternoon here in Sydney. Out here for our first final match in this tournament. We'll join in on the answer with up the starting line.
Fifth year. And now time to meet this starting lineup for from Tail. Ontario. Ontario. Is clear. Your officials for this morning's match.
Sullivan Field. First final action.
Jitter at first, left hand.
3-point attempt. No good.
And as I said, a little early game. tied at 8. Queens give her. Ice 10 been active since coming off the bench. Deep. It's an effort. Extends.
Like I say, depth, one of the most important things.
Back is Fred Line, Verrier. Going to get the foul from behind there. It's going to be Bella Gadet. And I believe that's our first foul call, 6 minutes in. Down low, Verrier at good position. Rushed it a little bit. I know she tried to want to get the shot away before the defense. Five.
Back half good as well.
Also, Sit it in, down 5. And what has been a fast-paced opening quarter, they like to get it down low, and they've been able to do so with the Verriers. And it'll be Fred Lane to the line, number 9. Once again, the Gales go to their bench. We'll see Bella Gadette, number 4, Emma Welts, number 7. And Alex, you talked about depth, and Claire Meadows is certainly having that long-term focus. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And again, one of the keys for their strong season has been their depth. And we'll see the sit it in looking like they may be a little less steep, maybe 7 or 8, but we'll see how things unfold here and how it becomes a factor.
Yeah, it's not really something that you notice right away in the first quarter, but second half, second, third game is really where it becomes a big factor.
So Fred Lane, Verrier hits both free throws to cut it to 3. And this is the sit it in team, as you can see, with another turnover force. And we're all tied up on the 3 by Yasmin Gatsby. Claire Meadows and the Gales want to talk it over. We're all tied at 15. Off the steal, Verrier. She found Gatsby, who drained that 3-pointer to tie it at 15 as the crowd starts to get into it here on the CBU campus at Sullivan Fieldhouse in Sydney. Our first of quarterfinal Thursday, we'll call it, 4 quarterfinal matchups here as the best teams in U Sports women basketball compete for the bronze baby.
Belvedere leading the way for the Gales with 6 points on a perfect 3 of 3 from the field here early on. Well, it's Fred Lane Verrier leading the way for Montreal with 6 of her own.
And really a quality start here for both teams. There was a few jitters early, and I think there still will be some, but both settling in. Montreal getting it inside, which they want to do, and making some success off their defense. And here we'll see it again as they go full court, looking to trap.
Nice, easy press break there from the Gales. Strong take. Wells getting right to the rim.
As you said, too easy breaking the pressure, and you're not necessarily looking for the steal every time, but at least to take some time off the shot clock. They didn't even do that as Welch was able to finish to regain the Queens lead.
Verrier down low, she gets fouled.
Good battle inside there.
Chadwick thought she got it clean.
Fredline Verrier, as she comes up hobbling. And she had an animated discussion with Fred Lane Verrier after that play, but now she's at the line for 2. Chadwick thought she had position, but maybe that little bend at the end once the arms bend forward. And that left one did for Chadwick. That was a good battle down low for sure. First free throw, pardon me, for Fredline Verrier. She'll look to tie it here with 1:47 remaining in our first quarter from Kate Breton.
The attack there by Welts as she's fouled in the act. She'll head to the line for a pair.
Montreal trying to, again, put some pressure on, but way too easy. Once Queens are getting into the offensive zone, clear lanes to the hoop. And Welts, one of the Queens players taking advantage of it as she gives her team back the 1-point lead.
Barrier. They're working around now. Gasney.
You can see Belvedere a bit in this defense dropping back into the lane.
Offensive rebound for the Citadel. And the long two from the corner is good.
Gasney, if she had the initial shot, it was almost like she put it up in the glass to get that rebound for Fredline Verrier. So it all worked out, all tied up again. Back and forth here in Sydney in our first quarterfinal. The third seeded Queens Gales, OUA runner-ups. The sixth seeded Montreal Citadel, the RSEQ champions, the sixth seed. The discussion by our officials maybe over what should be on the shot clock, not sure. So again, it's been nip and tuck, Alex, all the way, tied at 19. The biggest lead has only been 5.
As you expect from a 3-6 matchup. Tightly contested, both teams. Obviously their first action here in CBU this season. Getting used to the gym.
And there's a lot to be said for that, and especially for outside shooting. Just that depth and some of the gyms that a lot of these teams play in are smaller. This was maybe one of the biggest ones. So you get that backdrop that's a little longer than the wall of a smaller gym.
Yeah, especially on the end that the Citadels are shooting on right now. They got that wide open field house behind them, behind the rim. It definitely changes your depth of session when you're trying to shoot.
And of course, a little bit of a different look here at Sullivan Fieldhouse than normal. Some added seats, of course, must need it with this tournament. A sellout, quickly a sellout. And as I said, the Thursday morning quarterfinal game is already revved up. The crowd's really into it. Supporters of both sides. We have a lot of students at this first matchup as well, and they're really into it. Beautiful move on the reverse there by Fredline Verrier off the inbound. Welts now. Welts off the bounce.
Nice pass. And easy finish there, won't drop for Mulholland. Offensive, we're going to have an offensive foul called. So that one goes against Gaudette.
And that's going to be her second, so I think we'll see a up for Cedars Claire Meadows. She'll get Gaudette to the bench with the 2 fouls. Actually, it's going to be Chadwick to the bench.
McFarland will check in for her.
Chadwick hasn't quite been able to, and they haven't gotten her the ball yet very much, and credit to Montreal. No doubt one of their focuses down low is to take Chadwick out of the equation.
That'll do it for the first quarter play. As Citadels lead 21-19 in the first quarterfinal of our 2023 ProtoCase U Sports Women's Basketball Final presented by Bell on CBC. We'll be back with you shortly after a word from our sponsors. for the start of the second quarter. FLW Analytics from Boost Innovation is proud to bring you the 2023 U Sports Basketball Final 8 on CBC. This Canadian-built military-grade software provides guidance on 8 performance mindset characteristics, as well as knowledge of tactics and strategy in basketball. FLW Analytics, proven technology, is ready for its Canadian release. Learn more about the launch of FLW Analytics in Canada by visiting flwanalytics.com or scan the QR code on your screen. It's where champions go to improve their mindset.
Chadwick missed the 3 there to start us, but with the left hand off the drive. The tie at 21, the All-Canadian Chadwick.
Hoop there, good. From Dufresne. Welts now. Controls for the Gales. Chadwick, mid-range, won't drop. Fight for the rebound. And it's going to be out of bounds. So the Gales will retain possession with 14 on the shot clock.
Getting back to the first 2 layups that started us here, 1 for either side. I think if you talk to both head coaches, they'd say early on here that their opponents are getting a little bit too easy of access down the lane into the basket. A double dribble call there against Mulholland. One thing I've noticed early from Montreal is they don't give you much room when you're on the dribble. They have someone right in your grill, and that's giving some trouble to the Gales here early.
Yeah, a lot of ball pressure. Not necessarily looking for a steal either, but the pressure builds up as the game goes on. Being constantly pressured definitely affects the mindset of the guard. To block out of bounds at 1.8 on the shot clock.
As we mentioned, talking about pressure, you just alluded to it there. It's not necessarily to get the steal too easy off the inbound there, but good work by Fredline Verrier. Great hands there, and she put it in to give her team a 4-point lead.
Welts now trying to answer. Goes out for Mulholland. Into the corner, the drive, cut off. Chadwick. To Donovan, corner, 3, no good. Rebound taken by Verrier.
Neither team has been able to get the range from downtown. Attempt there gets nothing from Gasmi. And that was early in the shot clock as well, so I think you want to run a little bit more offense before you head for the 3-point shot, and that was a tough look.
Gales beat the press. Welts. Drive, left hand. She's fouled in the act. She'll head to the charity stripe for a pair. Foul goes against Dufresne.
First foul is Dufresne, first team foul. Welts, who's a 4th-year player from Timmins, Ontario, nursing student. Certainly been the right medicine for Clare Meadows here in the opening half. She's off to a great start as her team trims the deficit to 2.
Take there, no good. Get the offensive rebound.
6 on the shot clock. There was no rim on that first one. And there's a 3-pointer as the Citadins celebrate. That was Fredline Verrier. Took the feed from Fredline. And a 5-point Citadin lead.
Chadwick trying to answer in the corner, no good. Citadin slowing it down here. Take and a foul. As Dufresne will head to the line.
Here you see the feed, Fred line to Fred Lane. She makes no mistake from the top of the arc.
Centerton will use their first time out of the half.
And they'll be at the free throw line when we come back, Alex. And as I mentioned, for both teams, and maybe more so, well, for both teams, that they've been getting to the hoop when they wanted to, and really too easy access on many occasions, and a lot of layups here in this opening 13 minutes or so of this one.
Yeah, and both teams have taken advantage of their trips to the line. Centerton 6 of 6 here early on, and Queens 6 of 7.
And that's a good sign as well, that the jitters maybe have started to melt away, and when you can kind of take that deep breath and steady yourself at the free throw line, you need to be relaxed to be effective there. So certainly a great start to this 4 days of women's basketball here, the U Sports National Championship. Brought to you by Proto Case and presented by Bell. Our first quarterfinal, we'll call it quarterfinal Thursday. 3 more matchups coming up. This first one, again, the 3rd-ranked Queens Gales, the 6th seed, Montreal Citadin. As hitting that free throw was Gasmi to extend, matching their biggest lead of the game so far at 3. And now their biggest at 7, 30-23.
Welts now controls for the Gales. To Chadwick, they work it around. Back to Welts. Driving, baseline. Stops and finishes down low.
Welts trims at the 5.
Verrier down low. Kicks it out. 3 off the mark. Step back, 3. No good there. Offensive rebound taken by Donovan. Gets it back in the corner. Chadwick, 3 to shoot. Welts gets it up, can't find the rim. Rebound taken by Verrier.
Wow, great defense there by Fredline Verrier against the All-Canadian Chadwick at the top of the key. She was looking to drive, but was thwarted and ended up with the last-second attempt by Welts.
And now they're off the mark there. Gasmi.
Rebound by Mulholland.
Kind of a foul called there. I think they're going to give her continuation.
I was just going to, you got to it before me. That's right. Interesting that they're calling that. That looked very early in the, but they're calling it a shooting foul, and at the line it's going to be Belvedere, who got off to a quick start.
I actually thought she may have gotten away with the travel early on that as well.
There you see Belvedere, 3rd-year commerce student from Bolton, Ontario, as she drains both. So 4 in a row here for Queens to cut it back to 3 as both teams go to their benches.
5:23 to go here in the first half. 30-27 advantage for Montreal. They have a quick turnover and a scoop is good from Donovan.
Haberzettel off the bench, coughed it up. And a great drive by Donovan. So 6-0 run here by the Gales. They cut it to 1. Oh, muscled in there.
Tough hoop down low from Verrier.
Verrier, Fredline has been tough to handle. Great feed here too by Dufresne. And that's 2 fouls on Chadwick, something to keep an eye on as well.
Verrier led the team in scoring this year at 13.8 points per game. He's named the first team All-Star in Quebec.
And what her play has done here in the opening half, which helps you so much offensively. She started to demand a double team, which can open up so much for her teammates.
Good footwork there down low from McFarland as she draws the foul.
As you said, Alex, both teams have been effective from the line. Another free throw made there by McFarland. Sophomore from Kingston, so a hometown player, kinesiology student. And it's back to 2, 33-31 midway through the second quarter. Again, Fredline Verrier having a sensational opening half. And then defensively, there you see her against a pair of Gales. Moses Malone like with her own rebound and the putback. And then defensively, she just engulfed.
Good pressure here from the Gales at half. Zibata
on the jump ball, and then on that play there by Fredline Verrier, you're seeing what soft hands she has for a post player. Great hands, and we've seen it on display. We've seen a lot from her toolbox so far in a great first half. Has certainly been key to her team's 4-point lead.
Citizens again get a good look off the inbound. Unable to finish there was Verrier.
Each of their baseline plays have been fruitful as far as a good look.
McFarland. Kick it out, Welts. She'll take the three. Unable to get it to go. Rebound taken by Ibata. Slows things down in transition here. So move Dufresne goes down. They're working around 8 to shoot. Ibata, mid-range jumper, just off the mark. Offensive rebound. That one no good there from Fredline Verrier. We have a travel call. 3:35 to go here in the opening half. 35-31 advantage for the Citadel.
There you see Mulholland took a bit of a bump. Official said play on. It's getting a little more physical here in this second quarter. Wow, Verrier.
Take. Verrier flexing her muscles on that one there. That's a tough hoop down low.
Kind of catapulted that one to a wave of hands. And they just don't have any answer for Verrier right now.
Donovan. That one's tipped. Taken by Verrier. Dufresne. Gets it up. The take. Strong take there by Haberzettel.
Wonder, is this the time you look to steal? And yes, they're going to give Fredline Verrier a blow here. And I thought they might try to, with the 6-point lead time and situation, get her, because she's probably going to have to log some heavy minutes in the second half. So you give her a break. You're up 6. Try to bring this 3 minutes home and get her some much needed rest.
Free throw rattles in.
That was Haberzettel with the second of 2. to stretch it to a 7-point lead.
Gales working around Welts. Driving baseline, she's bumped. Foul's going to go against Dufresne.
This is a big 2:43 here in this one as we wind down the first half. 7-point sit-in lead.
Yeah, final 2 minutes of a half, always important. You don't want to take your foot off the gas going into the break. Some momentum can definitely be built here if you're the Gales. Senator's got to try and lock it down, make sure they don't go on a run.
McFarland with the offensive rebound, and she's fouled on the putback. Off the three-point miss, the Gales can't find the range from three thus far. Sit-in have hit a couple, but it's been mostly to the basket and inside for both teams where they've made the hay. And again, McFarland at the line. Another one of the Kingston products on this Queens club. Verrier. It's Fred Lane. Definitely a little different look as Fred Lane takes Fred Line's post spot, kicks it out for three.
That one well short. Fight for the rebound is going to result in a jump ball. It will be Gales' possession.
Claire Meadows goes back to her bench. She's going to bring Bella Gadet back in for Michelle Eichstead.
Welts using the screen. We're going to have a foul call. They won't give her continuation on that attempt. She'll head to the line for a pair.
Off the into the bonus situation. Waltz has been the star of the show for Queens here in the opening half. Misses that free throw, her along with, although we'll see her getting off the bench. Fredline Verrier is going to come back.
So a very quick rest for her. A little over a minute there. So Senators not taking any chances here with their 4-point lead, trying to close out the half.
And Ronaldo Mignon, as you mentioned how important the last couple of minutes of a half are, and he's no doubt thinking the same way, that they want to carry this momentum and the lead right through.
Floater no good, rebound taken by Mulholland. Gets it over to Welts. Three from Welts is good.
And the crowd gets into it, the Queens faithful, as Welts slices the lead to one late here in the opening half. The sit-in have led by as many as 7.
Bada. Take it away, Welts. Mulholland will slow things down here for the Gales. 1 minute to go here in the first half. Verrier gets it over Haberzettel. They play catch and get it down to Verrier down low. Kick out, 3. That one's good.
And that's what the double team opens up for you. Gatsby from downtown to make it 41-37.
6-second differential, game clock to shot clock. Donovan gets it down low. McFarland goes to the middle, can't get it to go. Rebound tipped. And it's going to be out of bounds. It'll be Gale's possession.
Plenty of time here for Queens, 4 seconds.
And the best of U Sports women's hockey hit the ice next weekend at the 2023 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship in Montreal. Catch all the action beginning on March 16th on cbcsports.ca and CBC Gem.
Horn Ghosts end a great first half here, Alex, in our first quarter final. Sydenham 41, Queens 37. We're going to take a little pause here in game 1 of our quarterfinals here at Nationals. Montreal 41, Queens 37.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome to your home for the next 2 weeks.
I think we can make this work.
Sick.
This room's mine! Derek, something's wrong. Mom, Dad!
They have cable internet. Everyone in the car. No! Once you're used to Bell Pure Fiber Internet, anything else is terrifying.
See some highlights here of the first half of action. A big first half there from Emma Welch. She leads all scorers with 15 points on 4 of 7 shooting. Doing a good job getting to the line. 5 of 6 from the stripe.
And really from the individual perspective, Welch for Queens, and of course, Fredline Verrier has just been stellar for Montreal. But I think as you see in most of these tournaments, most of these games, you always have the supporting cast, so to speak, step up, and you saw that here for both teams as well. And you saw there's a drive by Welch, that kind of a microcosm for both teams. They've been able to get to the hoop. 3-point shooting hasn't been a huge factor. I think maybe a couple apiece. It's been inside into the hoop. There's a basket by the All-Canadian Chadwick, who really didn't get on track in the opening half. They just haven't been able to get her going, so expect them to try to, Queens to try to focus on getting her cranked up here in the second half. There's the, I call it the Moses Malone hoop for Verrier off her own miss, and she was just a monster, and they'll have to really focus on slowing her down the second half, the Queens defense. And we're going to take a little pause here at halftime. You're watching the 2023 ProtoCase U Sports Women Basketball Championships on CBC.
Season. Catch the best in Atlantic University sport excitement at home or on the go with AUS TV. Soccer, rugby, football, volleyball, hockey, basketball, and more. Tune in at AUSTV.ca. All your favorite university teams showcasing their talents in one place. AUS TV, powered by Bell Alliant. They bring it to the court. They bring it to the field. They bring it to the ice. And now they bring it to you. Presented by Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University sport.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back to the 2023 Proto-Case U Sports Women's Basketball Championships, brought to you, presented by Bell. And a back-and-forth opening half. Seeing some of the stats showing the folks on the screen, even in rebounding. A few more turnovers for Queens, which is, I think, a result of the little more pressure defense by the Citadel. Both teams not where they want to be field goal percentage-wise, both in the high 30s. And you mentioned free throws. Both teams have been great from the free throw line.
Yeah, they're capitalizing on their opportunities when they've gotten to the line. Not a ton of attempts for either team. 15 for the Gales and 11 for Citadel.
And sometimes stats don't reflect what's happening on the floor, but I think here it's an even opening half. The biggest lead was 7 by the Citadel, coming in the number 6 seed, the RSEQ champions. Again, went on a great run in the playoffs. We're a 9-7 regular season club. Queens Gales finished the regular season 21-1. Their only other loss was in the OUA final to the number 1 seed Carleton Ravens, who we'll see tonight at 8 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time against the host Cape Breton University Capers in a 1-8 matchup.
And that promised to be an electric atmosphere, because the Orange Army will pack the house and try and cheer on their home squad.
And that's going to be one of the intangibles I think the Capers are going to have to really capitalize on. They come in again as the host, the 8 seed, 9-11 regular season, eliminating the quarterfinals of the AUS playoffs. So that's going to be one of the factors that they can maybe get some momentum off that crowd we expect here tonight. And a great crowd here this morning, 11, in the morning here in Sydney, Cape Breton, 11:30 start Atlantic time. And great turnout, a lot of youngsters here, which is great, and they've helped spur both teams along. Queens has a great group of faithful here as well behind their bench. They've been into it, so a lot of great activity here and a great start to this 4-day showcase of women's basketball here in Sydney. See both teams just getting loose here to start the second half as they start to head to their benches. Alex, what are you maybe looking for? I think maybe the first thing for me is on the Queens side, really maybe focus on getting Julia Chadwick, the All-Canadian, more involved. And it's good to see that a lot of star players, when they get caught up in these big games, try to force it. She hasn't done that. She's let the game come to her, and she has a couple of fouls, which is a factor. But I will look for her maybe to get more involved early as Queens tries to come back from this 4-point deficit, 41-37, as we get ready to start the third quarter. There we have a look at the Citadel bench. Head coach Ronaldo Mannion giving some last-minute instruction, as is Claire Meadows to her Queens side. Again, it's been close throughout. Largest lead, the Citadel at 7. As they try to pull at least as far as rankings go, the upset here in our first quarterfinal of 4. The 6 seed against the 3 seed. The 2023 Cavendish Farms University Cup is coming up from March 16th to 19th in Charlottetown, PEI. You can catch all the action on cbcsports.ca or usports.ca. That's the 2023 Cavendish Farms University Cup. Citadel will have the opening possession here, up 4 to start the third. Again, just to remind you, though, the monikers are pretty plain, but Queens in their gold, the Citadel in their blue.
Verrier controls at the top for Citadel. Over to Dufresne. The return pass. Tries to get it down low for Ibata. It's tipped out of bounds. The double tip will go off of Ibata. It'll be Queen's ball.
It looked like she came smarting a little bit. Ibata maybe got it on the top of the fingers.
Yeah, that's never fun.
And she's still kind of grasping at her hand there.
Donovan. Belvedere loses control. Dufresne will come the other way. Gets to Verrier. Goes up, can't get it to go off glass. Rebound taken by Donovan.
For all the things she's done well, Fred Lane, Verrier with the steal there. She's had a little trouble at the hoop. Just not falling for her. She had a couple of misses late in the low post late in the first half.
Another turnover there by the Gales. Transition 3 off the mark from Gasmy. A lot of pressure down low as Chadwick's going to draw the foul. That one goes against Fred Lane, Verrier.
The Verrier's had Chadwick sandwich there.
They get it in now, it's Welts. Down low, Donovan. The little baby hook won't drop. So we're gonna have a rebounding foul called against Bridget Mulholland. That'll be her first personal foul.
Looks like Fred Lane Verrier got whacked in the nose. Not sure if there's any. Looks like there may be some, as the training staff gets her off the court, some blood there, as in that tussle or entanglement with Mulholland. She got whacked in the nose, it looks like. So that's a big loss for the moment for the Citadel.
Dufresne down low. Kick out Cillian. The three just off the mark. Fight for the board, taken by Chadwick.
And that will help Chadwick get active, the OUA's top rebounder, 12 a game. She has a couple of big ones here early now in the low post. Good battle here.
Yeah, that's a tough matchup down there. Chadwick and Verrier battling all day so far. Corner three, Donovan won't go. Rebound tipped out for Welts. Chadwick tries to get herself going with the three. That one won't fall.
Verrier was slow to get up, but looks like she's okay, but impressive defending Chadwick there. Her quick feet, her lateral movement defensively. And she's given Chadwick all she could handle. And as you said, Alex, Chadwick went with the three there. Trying to get herself on track, but it missed.
Pass intercepted by Donovan. Gets it up Mulholland. She's doubled down low. Kick out, Welts, three. That one's money.
Our first point for the second half. Welts continues where she left off. She's been a star of the show here to cut it to one with 7:13 remaining in the third.
Bada tries to get it down low. Pass taken away by Chadwick. She comes quickly in transition, decides to slow things down. Hands off for Donovan. Mulholland gets to Welts. And we're going to have a
Mulholland, I think.
illegal screen down low.
Yeah, it's going to be Mulholland second. And you notice on that last play, the turnover, Chadwick made the defensive play that you often don't know who the passer is, and often getting it into Fred Lane Verrier, it's Fred Lane. And it was a tough angle there as Ibata tried to get it down. There's a hoop finally for the Citadel, Dufresne.
Gale trying to keep momentum here. Chadwick to Welts. Driving baseline, scoop at the right, no good. Rebound taken by Verrier.
It's one thing, and certainly she's not alone in it, but a couple occasions on layups by Welts, she doesn't use the left hand on the left side of the rim.
Ibada kicks out. Mid-range jumper won't drop. Verrier offensive board.
Yes, a carry, actually. I was going to say, looked like 2 dribbles. Either way, it's a turnover there for, as you said, it's a cumulative thing in the first half, Alex. We wouldn't notice it early, but be interesting, although she hasn't gone to the bench as much, Claire Meadows, in the second half. I think in the first it was very focused on looking ahead to the second. We'll see if, especially for the Citadel, not as deep.
Strong take there from Chadwick, earns a trip to the line, as we are going to have a substitution coming into the game for the Gales, as Gaudette will check back in. Giving Belvedere a break.
And that's Fredline Verrier. That's 2 on her. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Chadwick gets the shooter's roll. The All-Canadian brings her team within a point here. 5:48 remaining in the third. And they're still trying to patch up Fred Lane Verrier.
Turnover here. Gaudette attacking. Gets to the rim and finishes. Gives the Gales a 1-point lead here. And 5.5 to go in the second, in the third quarter, pardon me.
Been a while since the Gales have had the lead. Verrier lost the handle a little bit as she got her shot tipped. Here's the play and the steal. Gaudette, coast to coast from from mid-central Canada to the East Coast to finish that one.
Dufresne down low, left hand hook, won't drop.
Oh, Chadwick got caught in between there. I don't think she quite knew where she was in relation to the hoop, but she really was off on that layup. And back in for the Gales is McFarland. And back in, as I mentioned, Fred Lane Verrier patched up her nose. You see the white strip and the... So that's a few minutes without her. Definitely tipped things Queens' way. Long 3 misses.
Rebound taken by Verrier. Gets it over to Fredline. To Dufresne now. Back up top, Fredline. Spin move, nice finish there. Down low from Verrier, tough hoop.
Wow, she worked hard for that once she switched to the right side of the lane there. Was able to finally seal off Mulholland and muscled it up again. It's got to be double teams for Queens. She's just too strong, and a great move there. Welts is not going to let up at all, Alex.
Yeah, Welts has really stepped up when Chadwick, again, not having her best of days. It's those secondary scores that can make a difference for the Gales. It's always nice to have that option. It's always nice to relieve that pressure from your leading scorer, knowing that she doesn't have to go out and score a massive amount of points.
And that may become part of the things here as well. I mean, just as the drive there by Welts, extending to get away from her defender, and she's made it look easy here, heading to the hoop.
They get it down low, Verrier. Goes off left hand. I think she's gonna get whistled for an offensive foul. She does.
They're gonna say maybe the elbow. She caught Chadwick, is it down?
Take a look at that one again.
We'll see here. Oh, yeah, she did. She cleared out.
Definitely got her in the stomach with the elbow. Good call there by the official.
there's that fine line. Once the elbow starts to swing, that's where you can get as the offensive player. But she thought she needed to clear some space there against Chadwick, who
looks like she just got the wind knocked out of her there. She's going to take a quick substitution.
If you're Montreal, I think you're going to have to, certainly you want to feed the beast, as they say, with Fredline Verrier, but they're going to need some other people to do some scoring here in the last 13 minutes or so.
Yeah, definitely don't want to get one-dimensional. Obviously, you want to feed her down low, but, I mean, the better you do outside, the more room she's going to have down low to work. Dufresne gets it 3. No good from the lefty. This thing's getting a little chippy here in the third quarter.
That's there. We'll see if the play continues here where Verrier might have gotten tripped up as Belvedere, certainly she was in her spot. She's not going to roll out of the way, certainly, so ain't no harm, no foul there, just the physicality. Although the Citadel, I think, wanted to call against Belvedere.
Yeah, the intensity definitely picking up here, late stages, third quarter.
Well, it starts to sink in as well. It's although you move to the consolation round, as far as winning the championship, it's one and done. And the call there goes against Donovan as she cleared out Dufresne. So Dufresne, a couple of good defensive plays. She helped on that previous play, along with Verrier in causing the turnover. So she's been good here today, not scoring a ton, but great. Doing all those little things you need as you try to go after a championship.
Dufresne now looking to feed Verrier. Gets it to Fred line. Three attempt, no good. Putback won't go either.
And again, Fred Lane is just not much luck underneath.
Three-point attempt won't go for Gadet as Ibana comes the other way for Citadels.
I think if you're Magnan, Coach Magnan for Montreal, though it's hard to do, but I think Fredline may need a breather unless he's going to try to steal one at the end of the quarter.
Great look for 3 there, drops.
Gasmy, who's hit a couple for the Citadel, gives them the lead back to 48-46 here in the final 2 minutes. These key minutes, as Alex mentioned in the opening half, Mulholland.
Good separation move there. Drives down low strong, hesitates, goes up for the easy deuce. And the feed down low, very tough to guard when she gets that kind of position. Nice feed there from Dufresne.
Just a beautiful touch for a post player, and again, we've seen it defensively with her. Such soft hands. And I'm always biased towards a lefty as well. She's one of the best I've seen this season, men or women, but you can see she's really laboring. Going to try to get to the third quarter buzzer here with her and get her a rest.
Yeah, she's definitely working hard down there, playing a lot of minutes. And they're not easy buckets that she's getting.
Huge basket there for Fred Lane at the shot clock buzzer.
The skip goes over the head of Gadet. It'll be Citadel ball with 42.7 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Going to steal a start of a rest here, Fred Line, pardon me. Verrier headed to the bench. So she'll get this in the break at the quarter. The only thing, it's not a lengthy one. It's not the pro style stoppage you get between quarters, but see if it'll be enough for her to get her wind, get hydrated.
Ibana goes up, nice little hook shot there, gets the drop, extending the Citadel lead.
Sophomore Ibana, 5'8", with a great move there in the low post. Speaking of that, Fredline Verrier, we haven't indicated she's only a sophomore. So a bright future ahead for her is an aggressive Mulholland, who's cranked it up here in the second half. And Mulholland's a great story. She's the Tracy McLeod Award recipient, given annually to a player who demonstrates determination, perseverance, and unwavering spirit. So well-deserved honor there as she's battled back from injuries and such, and it's been key there. You get a good look at her in her 4th season from Kingston, a Master of Science in Neuroscience. So she's not slacking enough in the classroom either if she's in the neuroscience program at Queens.
True definition of student athlete right there.
Off the turnover. Oh, great patience there by Cadet. And the horn goes then the third quarter where it's still nip and tuck, Alex. Should be a dandy finish here at Sullivan Fieldhouse. The Citadel 55, the Gales 53. We're going to take a step away here. Before the start of the 4th quarter, you're watching the 2023 Protocase U Sports Women's Basketball Championships, presented by Bell on CBC.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike.
U Sports Champions gear on sale Monday at shop. Sports Champions gear, as you can see on your screen at shopusports.ca, starting on Monday. Let's not skip ahead to Monday. We got plenty here on Thursday, early Thursday afternoon in Cape Breton on the CBU campus in Sydney. A big welcome to this national championship, 5-53. The Citadel UQAM from Montreal over the Queens Gales of Kingston. A matchup of the 3rd and 6th seeds, and we're underway here in the 4th.
Good defense there from Verrier. There's a scoop shot there, no good from McFarland. Rebound claimed by Gadet. Quick 3, and that one's good from Wells.
So back to a 1-point Queens lead here. And this is where we'll start to watch the potential fatigue factor.
Well, it's going
5 to 10 minute rest. About 47 seconds in game time, but again in real time.
Meadows will go quickly back to Chadwick.
Verrier working on defense as she has to there, but again, she's been up to the task.
Feed down low, Ibada gets it to go. Back and forth we go.
Winner of our next quarterfinal, which features the Alberta Pandas, the 2nd seed, and the 7th seed. The at-large entry from here in Nova Scotia, the Acadia Axewomen of Wolfville in the AUS, the number 7.
Final loss in the AUS.
Yes, they were the first place team for the regular season, dropped the championship team to a team ranked 4th, and we'll see again at our 6 p.m. game, and a team that's really clicking right now.
Three for Dufresne, just off the mark. Rebound taken by Mulholland. She gets it for Welts. Screen once again, kick to the corner, Donovan. Chadwick continues to struggle down low. That pressure from Verrier definitely playing a factor here as Julia Chadwick really unable to get it.
One-point Queens lead here with 7:23 remaining. As you see the result of a whack in the nose for Fred Lane, Verrier.
She's fouled in the act. Fred Lane Verrier heading to the line for a pair.
But there's an instance, and not to certainly take away from her effort, but the effort's still there, no doubt. But there's an example of right. She's played heavy minutes, and you see already the hands at her sides here with 7 minutes remaining. But she's gutting it out, and still defensively, she's giving Chadwick all she can handle. Just a sensational performance.
And offensively, but even if she wasn't scoring, you have to love the output she's done on the defensive end, shutting down Julia Chadwick. She gets into the high post. McFarland, back down Chadwick.
Here's the chance, Ronaldo. Time as well, and I think that's as much as anything. And there's no sense leaving timeouts in your pocket here, but I think he's going to have to be maybe methodical. Not that you want to use them all in a close game; you may need them at the end, but I think this is strategic as much as.
Stretch in case you have to advance the ball. But like you say, timeouts, especially that third timeout that you have in the second half can be used to give your players a little bit of a break. They play major minutes, as we see from the Verriers.
Coming up again, Claire Mills, you saw her early and often, first quarter, second quarter, go to her bench quite liberally, and maybe that's maybe her season-long approach and probably been effective. I know depth's one of their
14 to inbound for the Citadins. We get it to Verrier. Passes down low. The finish from Fred Line, Verrier.
Thing is with Fred Line, Verrier, you can count maybe 2 or 3 times she's missed. Off the charts as well.
She's been a very efficient 8 of 12 from the field.
Big shot block there by Fred Lane Verrier. And she's kind of one of those glue players. You see her, she does a little bit of everything. Defensively, brings the ball up the floor, gets one of those unsung heroes. She had a big basket there earlier. She's done a lot of little things as well. 3-point lead, this is a big trip.
Gales attacking now quickly. Set a player like Chadwick to the line. She sees the ball go through the hoop a couple times. She might get herself going here in latter stages of the fourth quarter with 5:26 to go.
Misses the second, and there's Fred Lane Verrier with it. She's up in her rebound totals as well. She looks good with it.
4 points, Citadin advantage.
Again, one of those unsung heroes you need.
Nice take there from Welch, can't finish. Got 20 seconds on the shot clock here.
Even little things like this, having to get the ball dried off and such, it helps to sit it in.
Yeah, they'll definitely take any break they can. I should say a little less depth on their half. They have to get it over half. Very close. Get it down low, Verrier, and that's just impossible to stop.
She's like a vice grip once she gets that ball in her hands. I'd like to know how many times she's been stripped this season, because once she gets it, she took the feed here. And the Citadin up 6, and they get again to have a little break. Here's Queens takes the timeout. And this is the biggest lead by far the second half for either side. In the first half, the Citadin led by 7. Heck. 6-point lead. You get a chance again to reinforce some things as you see him there with his team, and then you get a much needed rest for the Verrier. Now, Johnson, you see now it's when the big players come to center stage, and that's what we'll see here. 6 points, and look at the crowd here. Full house for our first quarterfinal here at Sullivan Fieldhouse.
And it's been a well-balanced attack today from Montreal. With 19. Gets to the rim once again. Extends her game high to 27.
Well, Welts has been sensational. And the Citadel have had no answer for her. She's been getting to the hoop at will. Get it in the Fred Lane Verrier.
Welts attacks again. To Donovan. Kick, corner, bobbled. It's Mulholland, another kick. Ibada now slowing things down for the Citadels.
Ibada's been big here in the fourth quarter for the Citadel. A couple of hoops, helping bring the ball up the floor. A pest defensively.
Back door. Out of shot.
You start to see some little things as well. Previous trip down the floor, Chadwick, good defense against Fred Lane Verrier, and there on that play was the big defensive play from Chadwick. So the All-Canadian doing the little things to help her team here, down 4 with 2:50 remaining.
Mulholland gets to Chadwick. Driving baseline. Lots of contact there low. She gets that up and under to go. 2-point lead for Montreal.
Both teams start to go to their money scores, or try to. We'll see where Fred Lane Verrier, they did try to get it to her, but good defense.
Good pressure, good awareness there, feeding Welts. She goes up and ties this game at 65 apiece with just over 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Oh, see this great move by the All-Canadian Chadwick, and the dogged determination of Verrier.
An illegal screen call there, they don't get it.
Chadwick missed with the left hand, and a down is looked like grabbing at is Fred Lane Verrier, who already took a hard shot to the face.
Yeah, definitely looks to be in some discomfort there.
Not sure where, if it's her face. She took another blow. Set the table here for you folks. Even Steve and 65 apiece if you're just joining us on CBC. One of the stars of the game. Our game. A nursing student, 4th season from Timmins, Ontario. With the tying basket there. As Queens was down 4, they've been able to pull even at 65 apiece. Again, our first quarterfinal of the 2023 U Sports Pro Basketball National Championship, presented by Bell on CBC. The crowd will give a big hand here, definitely, to Fred Lane Verrier. Not sure if it was, again, she took another blow to the face, or if it's something with her legs, but it looks like
It's good to see her able to walk on her own power anyways, whatever.
And so she's in there. Coach the
obviously a competitor, wants to get right back in. 1:47 to go in the fourth quarter. Quarterfinals of Nationals.
Marie Tracy Sillen is in there for number 12.
It's Welts. Kick out three. Well, no good from Belvedere. Rebound. Bridget Mulholland. She's fouled by Verrier.
Big play by Mulholland. And the rebounding foul. And right back in, Fred Lane Verrier. He's been a warrior. Remain each possession now. Thing to say, but so key.
14 seconds on the shot clock for the Gales. They get it in for Mulholland. Doubled in the corner, taken away by Verrier.
Tough spot to give her that pass. And that's how the city.
Gatsby.
Does Fred Verrier have some more magic in her hat? But here's
pull-up jumper, Ibata. No good. Fight for the board, taken by Belvedere.
She got a good look, a little flat.
Chadwick down low. Goes back to her right, gets it off glass, no good.
Looked like she might have gotten away with a little tap dance on the move. No call, but the Citadel get the rebound. Under 1 minute remaining.
Fred Lane Verrier gets it to jump ball.
Citadel, but that flips it for later on. So it stays with the Citadel, tied at 65, 39.6 seconds remaining as Ronaldo Minion wants to talk it over here.
Second time out of the half. Knotted at 65 apiece here. A tough battle between the Gales and Citadel.
Any indication of what we're in store for? Crowds are expected here at Sullivan Fieldhouse, and everyone that's joining us on CBC are in for a treat. Again, the number 3 seed, Queens Gales, OUA runners-up, regular season champion. The UQAM season, but went on a strong run in the playoffs, and you can see why they ended up being our SEQ champions. As they've shown they belong here, that's for sure, as they have a chance to advance here with possession.
4.8 on the clock for Montreal. Get it in, corner, 3, Gatsby. No good, rebound.
With such limited time on the clock, that was a great look for Gatsby.
12-second differential, game clock to shot clock. Chadwick. They get it to Welts. Welts kicks, bounds. It will remain Gales' possession with 1.3 here by Coach Meadows. She looks for a quick hit.
Wow, the Citadel, again, don't go as deep, might be running on fumes a little bit, but they didn't show it on that sequence. Wow, some great defense. They didn't give the Gales anything to look.
Try and get a quick hit down low or a screen for a corner three. See what Coach Meadows decides to draw up here. She tries to give her team the advantage.
You see some of the orange, the familiar color for the host Capers. We'll see a lot more of that tonight, no doubt, at 8 o'clock when the host team battles the #1 seed Carleton Ravens here at Sullivan Fieldhouse, and that's our nightcap. Before then, a couple of more quarterfinals coming up at 2 p.m. The #2 seed Alberta Golden Bears and the #7 seed Acadia Axewomen. And it's going to be 4 seed as they go up against the #5 seed, the Calgary Dinos. So a long way to go here, and maybe a long way in this one. We're tied at 65.
13 on the game clock, 1.3 on the shot. Gales to inbound. Again, that'll be a shot clock violation as that couldn't draw the rim. Then timeout here.
Yeah.
As we have 9.7 on the game clock. They can take the final shot of the fourth quarter as they'll advance it.
On the Queen's side, you would think it's going to be, it's not going to be by who's been a monster throughout both ends of the floor. It might be a chance, might see something open up, who's hit some big shots, maybe something for Ibada, who's hit a couple of big shots.
Yeah, if you see Fred Liberia, you get a catch, you can almost guarantee they're going to bring the you don't want to give her a look down low. Look for ball handler here for the Citadels in the fourth quarter.
Dufresne and Gasby's been probably the most dangerous outside weapon. And of course you have Fred Lane Verrier, who's just gutted it out. Believe it would be your nose. Second time.
And they have adjusted the game clock. They've added 1.3 seconds. So there's 11 to go here in the fourth.
So, I mean, definitely time is not a huge threat here in terms of to do what they want to do off this inbound.
They get it into Verrier. 7 to shoot. And they give the foul as they have 3 to give. Good foul there.
It's Mulholland.
Cuts the clock in half. Still 2 more fouls to give here for Queens. It's Dufresne. And they don't get a shot off, so that'll do it for regulation. So in our first game, we are headed to overtime. Nothing wrong with free basketball.
And it almost a fitting end to this one. It's been back and forth. The biggest lead of the game has only been 7 by the Citadel. Digit. Cape Breton University in Sydney, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Not a bad opening act. Gales, OUA runners-up, the RSCQ champion UQAM Citadel. Headed to overtime here, all knotted at 65.
Definitely something to watch here in the overtime here. Both Verrier sisters with 4 personal fouls. For the Gales. Nobody with 4.
And although the Citadel continue to defy my logic in terms of fatigue, but you have to think certainly that side of things favors Queens in terms of fresher legs, but it hasn't translated yet on our first possession of overtime, looking to get it to Chadwick.
Welts with 10. Attacks left hand, no good. Rebound taken by Verrier.
That's one of the few times Welts has been contested. On a good shot block there by the taller Verrier. Fred Lane
goes through.
Her third, again, she's had trouble under with those layup attempts. And that's been the, and wouldn't even call it a blemish, but
they get it up top. That is a massive foul here early in overtime.
You can pick an adjective to describe it. Danger. Fact, wow.
Some big minutes needed here from Mary Tracy. It's Gatsby. For Gatsby. Away by
it hasn't been as much on the score sheet for Chadwick, but she's done.
Mulholland able to give the Queens Gales the first in overtime.
And the that if Fred Line Verrier is still on the floor. So our first sign of the absence of Fred Line. Two-point Queens lead. Who's been
nice pass down low from Mulholland.
Mulholland with all 4 points here in the extra session as her team takes a 4-point lead. Sit
Montreal, good timeout.
And there you see the hoop by Mulholland to make it a 4-point Queens lead, and getting back that 5th foul on Fred Line Verrier. I think what her recognize and get her the ball, and then she again trying to carve out even more space, got her into trouble and got that 5th foul.
Yeah, always tough to foul out on an offensive foul. You know, you're really aware of it on the defensive end, not trying to reach, not trying to be too late. Offensive, you're working to your position.
Who look to punch their ticket to Saturday's semifinal round.
Bada will control for the Citadel. Siemi. No good. Offensive rebound, Welts.
That could have very well been the dagger. If Donovan could have canned that 3 to make it a 7-point game.
Belvedere puts it up, won't go. Again, another offensive rebound. This time Chadwick goes up and in.
The All-Canadian. Has its largest lead of the morning and afternoon. Dufresne. This helps, it stops the clock. You hopefully take your Dufresne's had again a 9-7 club in the RSEQ regular season, but caught fire and won the league championship. And they've certainly again shown the quality club they are here as they Six of the 8, Chadwick with that big hoop, but 6 points for Mulholland as Dufresne, everything but the basket, saying she got hit. Here's Mulholland with the right hand. And again, when you don't have the now time is
happy to use some clock here. 8 to shoot. Mulholland. Attempt no good. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Citadel ball.
Minute to play here. And you would think
outs remaining on the latter stages. It's Dufresne. Gets it down low. Bada goes up. She's fouled in the act. We'll head to the line.
that's one, if you can avoid it, and I know it's just human nature, player nature to go for your queens. You don't want to stop. First.
Second one rattles in. Welts. Set it in duo.
So the Verriers both with their 5th fouls in overtime. And that's part of not only the fatigue when you play heavy minutes. with the Citadel. Not that this one's over, but certainly Queens now in full control. As they again look to punch their ticket to Saturday's first semifinal here at Sutherland.
Scores table as to what the shot clock should be.
And the loser of this one will be back in action tomorrow in our first consolation round matchup.
Is getting the turnover.
Wow, they ever swarm there in a big turnover. You get it back to a one-possession game here.
Ibada downhill, gets to the rim and finishes. Game definitely not. It's been Gasmy who's hit 3 from deep. She's 3 of 11. No timeouts remaining for the Citadel, so those quick twos are always nice to get, but trailing by 3 here, late stages, might have to look for that outside shot.
And free throws for Queens particularly, you would think will become a factor. They're going to have to hit some here as time winds down. Obviously, initially, the Citadel look for a steal, but at some point, too, although
Gales choose not to advance the ball here after the timeout, keep that 24 seconds on the shot clock. They get it in for Chadwick. Good pressure here in the backcourt, but there's going to be a foul here against Cillian. That'll mean free throws for Mulholland.
Mulholland, who's been one of the stars of this overtime. That puts the bonus in effect. Mulholland already with a half dozen. She's been the scoring star here in overtime. Can't hit that one, so this again.
Second free throw, huge. No timeouts remaining, either team under a shot clock to go.
Even one free throw still makes it interesting. Obviously, Citadel need a quick hoop here. Ibaka.
Strong take for Ibaka. A lot of contact there as well. Some pressure in the full court. Now you have to give the foul. Have to give the foul now, right? There it is.
I would think so. Mulholland will get back. She just missed one or two. As you mentioned on that great drive, and again, one of those unsung heroes, Ibada.
Yeah, we'll see that again.
That
she goes coast to coast.
Easily and one, as she took some contact both from Mulholland.
Yeah, that's a tough hoop.
And then on a reach there a little bit by Welts.
Because that's Cillian's 5th personal foul.
Mulholland short. So again, the Citadel are going to have an opportunity one way or the other. It's going to be a 2 or 3 point game here, 8.6. Plenty of time to get it up the floor. Mulholland hits.
That's a big one.
It's big because it gives the...
I think you need the 3 on this possession if you're Citadels. No sense attacking the rim. And a great defensive effort there from Welts.
Welts, who was the offensive star, put the exclamation point on things with the defensive play as the Queens Gales are number 3 seed. A hard-fought 75-72 victory over the UQAM Citadel here in our first quarterfinal, as head coach Ronaldo Menyon has a talked to his players. Well, they got a lot to be proud of. Yeah. Although you're gutted, you know your season's over as far as the chance for a national championship, but
yeah, that
what
was
a battle.
Great effort for Montreal. Hard-fought game. Tough team to play against. Obviously, foul trouble caught up to them there in overtime as the Verrier sisters had to take a seat. But great effort. Great start to our weekend here in Sydney.
The seedings take hold. Queens will move on to semifinals Saturday. The sit-it-in, the consolation round tomorrow. The final score, a 3-point victory as Queens salutes their faithful who are out in big numbers here from Kingston. And we're going to have our Nike Player of the Game presentations.
There's a pretty good chance this one goes to Emma Welts with 29 points.
We figure Emma Welts and Red Lane Verrier. It is Verrier. The Nike Player of the Game here. Well-deserved. Monster game for her. And there she is, the sit-it-in. And for the Gales, as you said, and then with that big to play at the end, Welts. There she is, Emma Welts. What a big effort. And she made her way to the hoop at will throughout the...
Yeah, she really stepped up. You can tell the citizens were focused on shutting down Chadwick. And she performed at the top level here when her team needed her the most.
So don't go too far. You're going to watch this here on CBC to show you get the first piece of the puzzle for semifinals Saturday. There you see it. Queens advances with the win over Sit-it-in. They'll play the winner of our next quarterfinal matchup coming up at 2 p.m. The Alberta Pandas and the Acadia Axewomen. And then on the other side of the bracket at the bottom left of your screen, St. Mary's Huskies, Calgary Dinos this evening at 6. And in our final quarterfinal, it should be rocking here at Sullivan Fieldhouse, Alex. The host, Cape Breton University Capers, the 8th seed. They'll have a big challenge, to say the least, as they go up against the number 1 ranked Carleton Ravens. So again, we'll see you in an hour or so, 2 p.m. start for our next quarterfinal. It's the number 7 seed Acadia Axewomen and the number 2 seed Alberta Pandas. You've been watching the 2023 Proto Case U Sports Women's Basketball Championships presented by Bell on CBC.
U Sports CBC, les champions. Brought to you in part by. Vous êtes présenté par Nike Team.